Hey, Digital Faceless Marketing Mom. So today I'm going to be showing you how to use one of the tools called Buffer to go ahead and schedule your threads and how to use multiple accounts, multiple threads accounts to make sure that you get the most benefit. Why do I use multiple threads accounts? Well, because in my business threads account, I want to be very strategic, meaning I wanted to have very sophisticated long threads. So sophisticated that it gets people glued and not want to unfollow. But with my personal threads account, I want it to be a little bit different. And my personal threads account is kind of reversed roles. My like business has a picture of me, but my personal one doesn't, and it actually has the products, the actual product itself. And so it's a little bit kind of confusing when you first look at this, but it's perfect because it creates that polarization effect. Remember, polarization effect is when you attract the opposite, right? So, and I'm creating that effect and I'm showing you how to create that same effect as well. To attract the opposite, you must literally target people who would be gravitated towards you for your opposite self, right? So right now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you a couple of sections of the Threads Booster Guide. I went ahead and I created this sections today. I literally wrote down exactly what Threads Booster has, what topics, and of course, included that in ChatGPT, and I told it to summarize it and give me a very good description. So it came back with the full description. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to populate my threads, my personal threads with that. And I'm going to show you how. So what I do is I take this first section and I literally place that and let me first show you the threads. So this is my personal threads. It only have 15 followers, right? And the reason why I'd say personal is because it's tied to my personal Facebook account, right? So it has very kind of, it doesn't have a lot of things relevant to like my personal life. It Although it is personal, it's kind of opposite in this case. It just the maybe I shouldn't even use the word personal. I should just say uh, it's all product relevant. That's what I should say to not confuse you at all. So when I mean when you create an account, two accounts on Threads, you want it to be one of them. So let's say you have a personal Facebook and you have Threads attached to it, right? And personal Instagram and whatnot, right? And uh, you want to have a product. Literally, you want to have an account which shows your product. It's got to be like a logo of your product. And your second account is going to be your logo of you. Like in my particular case, you already seen a logo of me. It's another account called Fit Infusion System. You've seen what it looks like, but what I'm showing you over here is my uh, like product account, right? And on that product account, I wanted to make look everything professional, right? I want to make sure that you fully understand what the product does the minute you land on this page, right? So that is the purpose of the product-based account. In fact, you could probably think of it as a business account, but I don't want to confuse you because I have Instagram and Instagram, it's a business Instagram and I have personal Instagram, right? So anyway, go just kind of remember you got to have two accounts, two threads accounts, one of them with your name, right? Like with your actual name. In this case, it's Rome Wells, right? It's kind of a mix. The reason why it's such an incredible strategy is because it creates polarization effect of introducing personal and business in one. It's like a combination, it's a hybrid combination of both. It's a very unique kind of a strategy, but it will gravitate people um towards you, towards your profile, because they're going to be like, I even had some people getting confused saying, is this a personal or business? Right? And that level of confusion and curiosity is what will gravitate people towards your content. And so let's go ahead and so what is the strategy of this product account? Well, the strategy here is to keep things very simple. So for example, today I went ahead and I created this thread. that just kind of shows my initial journey, right? And it just kind of lets people understand how I came about Threads Booster, right? So people could kind of understand what it is. But now what I want to do is I only have 15 followers, right? What I want to do now, guys, is I want to create a thread that will be very easy as well. So I'm going to go into this account. I'm going to go ahead and copy this. Then I'm going to go to Buffer. This is the tool. Right now I set up threads. I have YouTube and I have my personal TikTok as well, right? I'm not including any videos. I'm just including text to make it super simple. This is a simple routine. There's no videos or anything like that. Very simple routine that will not boil your brain and make it easy for you to execute. I'm gonna go ahead and since I already pasted two of them, I'm gonna go ahead and paste the third one, right? Now, of course, if you're not sure what to add, don't worry about it. Jump into Threads Booster. We'll show you exactly what to add. And this is another one, like this is Metric Cool. It's another tool that I use, and I'll cover that as well. And I cover that in Threads Booster. But I use multiple AI SaaS tools, distribution tools. So now let's go ahead and jump into Buffer. I'm gonna go ahead and jump in. Boom. I'm placed all those sections. So what I'm doing is I'm really kind of describing each of the sections. You see how easy it is. It's just you copy and paste. You describe the section. Now you may say, well, Rome, I don't really have those sections. Can you please teach me how to get those sections populated? And of course, you're going to learn that in Threads Booster, or how to figure out what sections to create, what to focus in your product as you're going to be building your digital faceless marketing product. And of course, it's and as you can see, ChatGPT actually initially when I created the list, I had like benefit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, etc. And it literally and after I wrote everything that was in my Threads Booster, it actually combined everything together and categorized it for me, right? And which is cool. I didn't have to think like, oh, you know, well, what like how which category which benefit belongs to, right? So I didn't have to do this. So right now we're continuously moving further with Buffer, right? And going a little further, and we're just constantly eating. This is something your virtual assistant also can do. And all you need is just a couple of prompts and routines for what and activities for your digital faceless marketing moms who you're targeting, or any other types of audience that you're targeting. You need to pre-populate that ahead of time using prompts. You need to populate them in what's so called Freedom Fusion OS, and I'll show you that and we'll cover that. We'll cover Freedom Fusion OS as well for what that is. And so this way, especially if you have trouble remembering the routines, if you can't remember like how to that you need to do this, right? Freedom Fusion OS is definitely perfect for that because you could systemize and have your virtual assistants do the work. You could have systemized workflow of your side hustling service delivery lifecycle. And by doing that, you get to literally, you know, just have way better chances of getting those audience glued to you, right? Now, in this, like, check this out. Because this account is very simple, right? And doesn't include anything else, right? It may be counterintuitive. You may think, like, if you look at this account, you may think, oh, well, how are you supposed to sell if it's just so simple, right? But the simplicity wins, right? Simplicity will get you sales, but it won't get you followers. You kind of have to remember that, right? Simplicity will not get you followers, but it will get you sales. Okay? I hope that just registered with you, okay? What I just said. So notice how I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to include a poll. Which section are you most interested in, right? I'm going to include that as a poll. There is no native functionality in Buffer to go ahead and make that as a poll. So this way I'm jumping outside of the native functionality. I'm going to pick a tag. I'm going to make it, in a way, it's salesy. because I'm introducing the product. You also want to create those tags to essentially maintain balance, and you're going to learn in Freedom Fusion OS how to take care of those tags. Now, if you see everything kind of neatly placed in, what I'm going to do next is I'm going to hit post. Now, keep something in mind. What you're going to do, guys, is you're going to hit share now, right? And as soon as you hit share now, it's going to say sharing, right? This post is going to get dropped into threads, right? And it's going to be great. Why is it going to be great? Because you don't have to manually go into threads and do that. Now you may say, well, I'd rather do this manually because it supports native polls and functionalities and whatnot. So that kind of doesn't make sense what you're describing here, Rome. I get it. That is true. It may not make any sense, guys. But the reality is, guys, you want to do this across multiple platforms. That's number one. That's the reality. Number two, yes, if you don't do this natively, you will sacrifice. Meta does not like when you do this thing, when you use any kind of other tools. It doesn't really enjoy that. And it will slow you down. That's why you got to use native functionalities, meaning you got to be on the app itself as well. So great, this thread has been shared. And I got a notification on my phone. It says, you rock. All posts for Ron Wells thread profile have been sent. Come see how they did. Okay? So, and guess what? I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to check it out. Now, remember, your personal threads profile needs a little bit of love. It needs a little bit of, how should I say it? Extra spiciness, right? So this is, over here it says Guide for Digital Faceless Marketing Moms. Now, as you can see, this is a very powerful guide. It has lots of things over here, but guess what? There is a little bit of a problem. What is the problem here? Well, if you look at this guide, right, you could say, okay, well, this is an all great guide, but, you know, it doesn't really have some spiciness. So the spiciness is, it could be in a form of a video, right? So if I was to introduce this video over here, right, and include something like this, right? This is kind of, okay, well, this is first of all, uh, anything related to Threads Booster, right? That's the question number one. Question number two, it just a random video. How do I know what it is, right? I mean, it is related to Threads Booster because I grabbed it, I know it is, right? But it doesn't really, you know, it's not really a product facing video. The product facing video was actually inside of Notion. So in Notion, what I do is I populate things in Notion specifically, so this way I could find them as structuralized content in Notion. So this way, like, as you can see, there's a card called Learn More About Threads Booster. I click on it, and there we go. I have everything about Threads Booster, including story doc, including URL, right? Including the file that I could just download and use that file. Meaning this is, you gotta have a file, you gotta have your product description all neatly organized in one spot, guys, in one pill, right? So this way you could come in and you'd be like, oh, you know what, I'm gonna go ahead. I know, like, I know what I'm doing. I need to go ahead and look at Threads Booster. I need to upload the video, right? And to upload the video, guess what? This is the product video, right? It's product focused. It shows everything about a product, and you are using native functionality of the platform, because now you're gonna go to download, right? You're gonna go to Threads account, right? You're gonna go to Threads, and of course in Threads, what are you gonna do? You're gonna cancel that, right? Because it's more about your journey, right? And instead, you're gonna pick the actual download over here of the product, right? So this way people get to see this product video below, see this product, see Threads Booster video below, booster video below to learn how to learn more about Threads Booster, right? So what you're gonna see, it's kind of, you'll probably say, well, it doesn't really start off with this Threads Booster. It's a little bit confusing. You're starting out with the cat, pets, and dogs, right? Just remember, my main premise of Threads Booster is that I help digital faceless marketing moms monetize their commute with the pets, cats, and dogs, right? So of course I want to include pets, cats, and dogs. It's a very micro niche, narrow area. Can I start off with something else, like what the Threads Booster guide is? Um, yeah, but should I make kind of, and as you can see, as I'm scroll, it's automatic. The video already is included from the story doc. Notice how I'm not including the story doc URL in here. Why? I don't really want to include story doc URL, guys, because that is not gonna be favored by Threads. It will punish me. It will not make that video grow, right? So what am I gonna do instead? I'm just gonna um, I'm gonna paste. I'm gonna hit post, but before I do that, I'm gonna write down over here. See this video below to learn. So if you are digital faceless marketing mom, struggling to monetize your commute and seeking to discover a way a way to do so while having fun with your pets, cats, and dogs, then this is the video you want to watch. This is what you want to watch. Then this is the video that you want to watch below, right? So now, of course, it kind of, you will say, but Rome, what if I don't have pets, cats, and dogs, right? Then of course it's not going to be super relevant, right? It's because it's and my followers, many followers don't actually have pets, cats, and dogs, so it's kind of illogical for me to go ahead and create a video that literally doesn't kind of focus on my followers and just focus on pets, cats, and dogs. But guess what? I will introduce followers who do have pets, cats, and dogs. I just haven't done so. I have focused on getting the followers only on my business account, which is the other account. And I focused it in a way where it's only digital faceless marketing moms, not so much people with pets, cats, and dogs. But I will modify that slightly as I continue to get more and more followers. I'll modify that and make that a mix, right? So it's going to be a mix of both followers. Now, of course, for extra spiciness and variation and greater chances of other people looking at that guide, I could start off with a different hook, such as not just uh, you know, not just a dog, but actual guide itself, right? That could be more appealing because greater number of audience are digital faceless marketing moms who don't have pets, cats, and dogs, right? It could be I should be doing that, but because I know I have a narrow focus, this is the direction I'm going. I'm going to be targeting. I'm going to be doing this super narrow focused video, right? Can I create another post that will be that is not going to be so specific to pets, cats, and dogs, but still Threads Booster, but another video? Yes, absolutely. And it's just a matter of me modifying in CapCut to start off with a different hook. Instead of to monetize your pets, cats, and dog, I could have a video that says, hey, how would you like to grow on Threads? This is the way to do that, right? Start off with that. Targeting, meaning being more close to your audience. Doing this way, using combination of both allows me to get combination of both audience, but the focus is spread between different types of kind of followers, and that can ultimately hurt me if I don't have the correct strategies. Now, because I do have the correct strategies, simply because I'm going to be advertising products for cats, pets, and dogs on TikTok Shop, I know that this is the direction that I need to be taking things through because I want to make money from multiple revenue streams, including TikTok, not just reselling digital faceless marketing products, right? So because I'm setting myself up in the direction of this hybrid strategy, this is the reason I'm doing whatever I'm doing now. Now, can I modify this and make it more towards digital faceless marketing moms? And make it like really stand out? Absolutely. But it's going to be another video, right? As I mentioned, as I mentioned it. But I do want to make sure that you fully understand why I'm doing what I'm doing. So this way, you start using those tools and you start using those strategies, because by doing that, you're going to be able to get a lot of followers. You're going to be able to get leads. And then eventually, if you guys are interested in getting your own Freedom Fusion system, so this way you don't have to have your own store, stand store, or beacon store, and just kind of get things rolling a lot faster and convert your leads into loyal customers, then definitely let me know. And if you guys want to join the community, you most certainly can do so as well. Or you could get the Threads Booster for $19.99 separately. And also, if you're interested in getting Freedom Fusion OS, which is a way of systemizing the routines that are present in the Threads Booster. So this way you do not forget to execute them. Anyway, guys, that is how I'm gonna do this. Next, I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna hit post, right? Now I have introduced native functionality in the mix, right? So like natively, what I mean by that is, okay, here's what it is. And by the way, here's the poll, right? What I could do is I could say, right? I could say respond over here, and I could go ahead and convert that into a native poll. 1, 2, right? If I do this, like, it's not gonna be good because you see it's cut off, right? If I do this, right? Now I'm introducing native functionality of a poll. What does native functionality do? What it does, it gets you further into results. It gets you out there, guys. It meaning you no longer be kind of wondering like what's going on, right? So of course, because this poll is only four kind of individual points, right? Options. I can't do this poll, but on Buy Me Coffee, I could do this poll, right? And introduce that on Buy Me Coffee, and I'll cover that at some point. I already covered that in Threads Booster and several other workshops. So definitely jump into my workshops and into Threads Booster. If you subscribe to me on FUD, you'll get access to Threads Booster, and of course, you'll get access to other premium guides at discounted rate if you subscribe to me on a monthly basis, and you get access to thousands of workshops. And of course, you're gonna have a priority in terms of me responding to you if you're my subscriber, and this will help you really like be able to interface directly with me and my feudal army as well. But if you wanted to jump into my Freedom Fusion Path community, this is basically so I have a feudal incubator, a custom coaching program for digital faceless marketing moms in my Freedom Fusion Path community, where it's basically a Discord. You jump into it and you interface with us, the feudal army, and you get access to the pills of freedom. There's many different pills of freedom, and of course I showed to you before what those pills are. But once you jump into there, you're going to be good to go, because you're going to be able to pop all those pills of freedom and literally grow your feudal kingdom one feudal land at a time by developing those hybrid skills that are not taught in college and truly flying free like an eagle and being able to accelerate your journey in terms of building your digital faceless marketing product and kind of getting access to Freedom Fusion OS, which is basically a way of taking all of those routines. And here's an example of Freedom Fusion OS, right? And Threads Booster. So all those routines you are systemized by your virtual assistants, and of course, This is if you guys are interested, you could go to uh, Threads Booster site, and literally you just DM Path on my Insta, and I'll send you the link to this site over here, where you could jump into a Threads Booster. And literally, once you get access to Threads Booster, you are going to be able to learn step by step all of those different things that I just described over here, right? So here are all the sections. As you can see, there's many different sections, right? It's all neatly categorized across all of them with emojis and whatnot, right? So this is the beautiful part about being able to use ChatGPT, summarize things, use AI tools, use a variety combination of AI tools, and um, getting access to the pills of freedom. So this way you could pop those pills and maximize your chances of success. And of course, there's different types of routines for how to create your own motivational video giveaways to attract leads in Freedom Fusion system. There's many different pills, guys, that you can access how to create your own funnel in Freedom Fusion system. And of course, Freedom Fusion system is like Stand Store or Beacon Store, but on steroids. It has email nurturing campaigns, AI chatbots, book appointment system, all that fun stuff that you absolutely need in order to have your virtual assistants have a reason to be working for you for free without you have to spend any money. Beacon or Stand Store does not provide that reason. That is the reason why you want to get Freedom Fusion system, because it's going to be very hard for you to convince a virtual assistant that they should work for free for you. With Stand Store or Beacon, it's going to be, you're not going to be able to provide them that reason. But with Freedom Fusion system, you are going to be able to provide that reason, because you could give them an opportunity to learn how to conquer those feudal lords, how to conquer them and make money. Feudal lords are the brand owners, and virtual assistants will be inclined in learning how to do those automations, how to do those email nurturing campaigns. They will be inclined in working with you because they'll get access piece of their own feudal land as part, and that feudal land you could think of it as a um, 3 sub accounts from Freedom Fusion system. This is what you're going to get: 3 sub accounts for Freedom Fusion system, which is basically a SaaS product. It's a mobile friendly website, or AI chatbot, email nurturing campaigns, book appointment system. And you could literally have your virtual assistants sit inside of that system and uh, get clients, learn, and in exchange for gaining that experience, in exchange of getting that feudal share that you're going to be providing them when your product gets start selling, they are going to be willing to work with you. But you need to provide them the tools and experience and part of that feudal land for them to cultivate in order for you to discover that freedom. That is the reason why you guys want to get Freedom Fusion system and not a Beacon store or a Beacon or a Stand store, right? Because you just don't, like, you with Freedom Fusion system, you have so many different things your virtual assistants can do. They could be literally like targeting plumber stores, roofing company, any of those companies, and providing AI content driven automation services in combination with digital marketing. And you could build your very own feudal kingdom in a form of an agency, a talent agency that combines the feudal needs and feudal wants of the feudal lords, the brand owners. Hook them up with a couple of those virtual assistants who could do the work for them, and you spawn money in between. That's basically the concept of the feudal kingdom. That is the concept of the feudal system framework, where you reflect, learn, execute, and mentor and kill atomic habits as you do so across multiple platforms. And this buffer over here, what I just showed, is a combination of those different platforms. Here's a TikTok personal, here's a TikTok, here's a Threads, and here's a YouTube, right? Now, which ones are personal, which ones are business, right? All of this is shown over here in the content distribution strategy. When you have different types of Mondays, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, right? You specify and you upload to different locations, to different social platforms. You upload, depending on which tool you pick, right? You upload specific content, and that content is going to be created in a form of strategies, in the form of pills that describes exactly what kind of content you need to create. So this way you don't have to have that headache of wondering what to create, where to post it, how to post it, why to post it, and who have all of this information posted, because you're going to have those answers. You're going to learn how to do that in Threads Booster. You're going to learn how to do this, but if you want to systemize it, you will need Freedom Fusion OS. So Freedom Fusion OS is what you see over here, right? It's basically a Threads Booster strategies inside of the database. This is an Airtable database behind the scenes, and as part of Freedom Fusion OS, there's all sorts of other automations that are kicking in that include Zapier blueprints and a bunch of other things like Make automation blueprints. In Freedom Fusion system is based on a go high level. So go high level is basically what you see over here. This is the Freedom Fusion system. You jump into it and you have all those different book appointment system, all those different things, calendars, email chatbots, all that kind of stuff, right? And the cool part about it, the key here is you could communicate from one single central pane of glass and continuously grow further. Now, what we're gonna do next, real quick, guys, now that you quickly saw how I was able to do this with Buffer, right? I could go ahead and like do something extra now, right? I could do a little spiciness, right? I could go ahead and, for example, add a, for example, new over here on my TikTok and quickly kind of jump out of it, go to my iCloud, right? iCloud and quickly kind of jump in with my QR code, right? And just kind of sign in, create password, forgot password, right? Keep me signed in. And I'm gonna quickly sign in with the passkey, right? So the passkey over here that I'm using, guys, is obviously a coupon. Obviously, this is a code, right? A QR code that I have access to. And once I log into it, um, I will literally be able to get access to my kind of videos, dog videos, and a bunch of other stuff, right? Inside of my iCloud account, right? Now, of course, there's a lot of videos. The question is, what video am I going to pick? What video I'm going to show? What video am I going to include, right? Uh, well, it's going to be a dog video. It's going to be a cat video, right? It's going to be some sort of a great combined video that includes a combination of both, right? So I could go ahead and I could pick, for example, this video, right? And I could download that, right? I could go ahead and download this, right? And I could go ahead and download that, right? And there we go. And I could go ahead and download this, right? I just went ahead and downloaded. I use iCloud. So guys, definitely you want to have iCloud. So here's a bunch of videos over here, right? Typically what you want to do, you want to put that on CapCut and edit them, edit them in CapCut and make them super fire, right? But we're not going to do that. We skip that. There's another workshop for that where you're going to learn that. We're just going to kind of quickly show you what is expected from this tool. So from this tool, obviously there's, you could include a couple of things, videos like this, right? Just include them, right? Upload them and have them ready to go, right? Now, here's what they are, right? You could edit a thumbnail, right? Choose the frame from your video as a thumbnail, right? We could include that, right? And then over here, we could just do this. Look, I could say, you know what? I could include some hashtags, create a hashtag group, right? Um, dogs, right? And then over here, I'm going to include popular hashtags, right? So I'm going to go ahead and include popular hashtags. Give me some hashtags for Doberman dogs, right? So I'm just showing you very doable, kind of very easily understandable concepts, guys, right? Uh, I'm going to do something better. Show me specific and generic hashtags. The hashtags for Doberman dogs, right? So if you have a Doberman dog, uh, you know, so specific, generic. Why I want to have specific and generic? Because I want to have a greater chance of success. I don't want just specific, nobody finds anything. I want to find, I want to make sure that this is combination, right? So I'm going to add kind of dogs, generic, and hashtags, right? Dogs combination one, right? So I'm going to kind of include, the first combination and the second combination, right, of a dog. Then I'm going to kind of include that over here, right? Boom. Save hashtag group. Okay. So I'm going to insert that, right? So this way I don't have to worry about it. Now I'm gonna include something in a ChatGPT. I'm gonna include a prompt, create a before I'm gonna include anything, right? I'm just gonna quickly watch the video, like, okay, fun times with Jax in a park, right? Over here, your video must be longer than 3 seconds, right? So longer than 3 seconds. So make sure you have the rights to use a suggested media, right? So I could delete that, right? And there we go. So now we have a bunch of cats, pets, and dog. We have just, let's create another dogs too, right? So this way I could kind of prepare those combinations ahead of time, right? And once again, you don't have to be perfect. You just kind of pick a couple of them, right? Dogs too, and include that as well. Guys, don't ever try to be perfect. The minute you try to be perfect is the minute you lose, okay? So just kind of remember that. Never perfect, never, okay? So we go here, include here. Doesn't matter the order, right? You just want to create a hashtag dog3, right? Just kind of create a very good combination so this way you could reference that again, right? You go in here like this, and we're going again over here like this. So this way you're using combination, guys. You're using combination. It doesn't matter if it's TikTok or whatever, Instagram, doesn't matter, right? So right now you use that and then you're gonna include a prompt. Now, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna say, create a prompt that includes Threads Booster and a Doberman dog, right? I'm gonna include that like this. And I'm gonna do this like this. And I'm gonna include that as a hashtag, right? Like this. But guess what? I didn't really have anything in iCloud for Threads Booster. Remember, because you are focusing on one product at a time, it's going to become exponentially easier for you to go ahead and include something like a, like a learn about Threads Booster, right? You could download this, right? You could go ahead and download this one with a 2-pack, right? It's going to be relatively easy for you to recognize. You just need to include a bunch of things about the Threads Booster that's something that will be like easy for people to understand, right? So in this case, I'm picking, I have a bunch of kind of entire camera roll full of Threads Booster because I'm focusing on one product at a time, right? But guess what? You could include, like, you could just, the more variations you introduce, right? If you see a dog and you see like an image, right? Uh, Go ahead and add that. Like, if you feel like, just kind of don't overthink it, right? And include several combination of that. So this way you are fully kind of, you just have to tell your virtual assistant to pretty much just get access to your iCloud, right? Or your Google Drive. You could also transfer that to Google Drive from your iCloud and be able to just literally kind of do all of this relatively quick, right? And your virtual assistant will be able to understand. You just need to have a knowledge transfer with them, right? And they will be able to understand exactly what you're saying. But you're going to learn how to provide that knowledge transfer in Threads Booster Guide. If you do it wrong, they will not be able to understand anything what you're saying, right? So it's very important that you guys understand that. If you don't systemize routines correctly with your Threads Booster, like with your guide, um, it's just going to be very hard for you to understand how to provide knowledge transfer. And if you can't provide knowledge transfer, it's going to be kind of really hard to do anything else, because then you're going to be process prisoner. You're not going to be able to make traction. You're going to be stuck to a computer, and just going to be constantly losing yourself, being in the la la land, right? I don't want you to get lost in a la la land. I want you to kind of focus on one product at a time, right? So this way you're introducing very like unique content in a mix, right? If you don't introduce unique content, people will smell that from a mile away. The algorithm is gonna smile at you and say goodbye, right? It's literally gonna be like constantly punishing you guys. So, which is why you need to make sure that you introduce a couple of different things, but you don't want to make it too long, right? So now we're just kind of, I think we included plenty of things in here, right? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add additional stuff over here, right? So I could go ahead and select drag and drop, right? And just keep something in mind. Images are also good. If you're not adding images, right, then of course it's going to be problematic, guys. We can only attach one type of file at the same time, either images or a video. So yes, so if that's the case, we're just gonna add the 2-pack video, right? Some platforms allow you to do it, like different platforms. So let's just open this one, MP4, and uh let's go ahead and let's actually go back and find 2-pack one, 2-pack video. Luckily, like that, this is the reason why you guys gotta use CapCut, because in CapCut you could introduce something extremely insane. Like you could create a video and introduce inside of that video very good, like a pop star. You could use multiple templates, right? Like over here, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna just download this, but I'm gonna include this and I'm gonna rename that to um 2-pack, right? Then I'm gonna just go back over here and I'm gonna upload that into 2-pack. Okay, so I'm just gonna choose 2-pack. There we go, right? And I think this is good. Now I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna post that. I'm gonna add a tag. This is entertainment, all related to a dog, right? I'm gonna, instead of scheduling, right? Okay, schedule a post. Let me see, great post has been scheduled, right? Now you created this post, publish now. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna publish that, right? So it got published. So we're gonna go to TikTok and see if it got published. So that's one of the things you guys would definitely want to do. You want to be able to kind of and this is a different post, right? I'm gonna check on my phone to see if it got published and let you guys know right now if it got published, because this is my business account. So it's a business account. I'm checking now my personal and I'm letting you guys know shortly if it got published. The personal is Rome Wells, right? And it just, let's see. Okay, so a couple of problems with that published post. Number one, I didn't see the dog, right? So we're gonna try to fix that. I did see the 2-pack thing, but I didn't see the dog. So let's go back into buffer, right? And see what happened, right? Approvals, new post, right? We're gonna go new post again. We're gonna go to TikTok. First of all, we could include this. Um, let's do start off with this, and then this. Okay, I'm including all of them. Okay, suggested media. Make sure you have the rights to use the suggested media. Okay, so I think what happens when I thought it was gonna combine all of them, guys, but I think maybe it didn't, right? So let's try this again. We're gonna go over here, right? And we're gonna choose this one, share now, right? This is supposedly just gonna show this, but I'm gonna check now again, checking to see what happened, right? First of all, by the way, that two-pack thing, it did a really, like, it got 10 views already, right? So that's good. So yeah, so definitely the two-pack post got like 10 views, which is cool. It got 15, so it started blowing up. Yeah. Okay. The other post for the dog guys also got uploaded, right? So a couple of things for your virtual assistants, guys. Do this. The thing is, TikTok, it likes random stuff. It doesn't like when it's the same exact thing, right? So let me first of all, I'm gonna tell you how does the hashtags look like. The hashtags look pretty cool, right? The same way how we wrote them. The dog is right there, but it's only one image. It's not stitched together. If you wanted to stitch all of those videos together, guys, you need to use CapCut, right? And of course, CapCut is, this is the CapCut, right? You open that up and you use CapCut. And of course, you guys could learn more about it over here, right? Turn on notification, no, whatever, right? So you could just open that up, right? And create a project and just kind of go ahead and import a bunch of pets, cats, and dogs, right? You could go to download folder, right? Remember, you don't need to be perfect, guys. Many of you are making a huge mistake trying to be perfect. Here's the cool part about CapCut. Could include videos together with pictures, and then you go ahead and upload that to TikTok. Okay, guys? Then you go ahead and upload that to TikTok, because then you're gonna have a beautiful video with special effects and everything else, right? Fully kind of everything packaged for you, right? So of course, this is an example, right? So threads booster, all that stuff over here, already here, right? Everything here, right? And you could kind of see right away, okay, it started off, right? It started off with a video, etc. You can't hear the sound because I'm using, I guess Zoom is taking over the sound. But the idea is you could export that out, right? And you're good to go. You export that. Don't need to be perfect, guys. Just export that, put that into a downloads folder, right? And you're good to go, right? So TikTok video, TikTok threads booster video, right? You do that, you export that out, boom. Typically, I don't, you could share it directly in TikTok, but I don't want to share that in TikTok, right? Just gonna go ahead and go to downloads folder, right? So TikTok, you could go ahead and search for date modified, TikTok threads booster right here. You click on it. Don't think too much, guys. Just do it, right? Tell your virtual assistants to do this, right? In a Threads Booster guide, you're gonna learn how to tell your virtual assistants and how to tell them how to do things and how to literally kind of combine different things, right? So the only thing is, if you wanted to start off with a different, like with a dog, right? So you could start off with the dog instead, right? So let's say if you wanted to have the hook instead of here, right? Instead of this thing, you could move this all the way back and typically that's what I do, right? And then just kind of move it around, move it around, move it around, right? Maybe you want to introduce some cuts, right? And then effects, transitions, right? Just to make it a little bit spicy, right? Boom, you introduce another cut, right? Split, effect, right? So you do that, okay, great. So then you do another split, right? Like this, right? Like this. So you introduce and you hit play. So, and another thing is, guys, you could add audio into it, right? You could just add audio in the mix, right? Like this. There you go. Now there's an audio, right? You could go ahead and shrink the audio to fit the right size, right? And just kind of introduce more uh, variations, transitions, right? Introduce more transitions. So once again, you hit split, split, and then transition. So you could hit play, play. I typically use iPhone to do that. It's just easier to use CapCut on your iPhone. But let's see. You see, like, you see how the transition is, right? So once again, right? Once again, like this. Once again, like this. And then you could kind of hit play, right? If you wanted to introduce some text, right? You could do text templates over here. Just jump in into text templates, move things around, right? Introduce like this this one over here, right? And over here, you could literally just add jacks, jacks, and cats, right? Let's let's have fun, okay? And then over here, we put some Sabrina Carpenter in the mix, right? And let's just export that. Remember, guys, don't be perfect. TikTok, Sabrina Carpenter, right? Just give it a name. Turn off your brain. You don't need to be thinking too much, guys. You just kind of boom, do it. Your brain is completely off, right? You're not really thinking too much. You're gonna go ahead and create a new post. You're gonna go ahead and upload. You're gonna go TikTok Sabrina Carpenter. Your brain is not thinking too much, right? You're gonna go here. You're gonna say modify this prompt. It's not thinking. It's just posting, right? It's just posting, and you have this key of you literally just have this kind of you know what? Include Sabrina Carpenter into the mix of this prompt of this text of this TikTok video and hashtags. Okay, so right away you are including pop star culture into the mix, right? And you turn off your brain, guys. You just put bunch of videos together, right? And you literally just include a thing over here. You start off with this thing and you turn it off. You turn off your brain, right? The hashtags, the only thing is you don't want to miss hashtags, right? And you kind of include them over here, right? Sabrina Carpenter, the cat, dog, right? Just kind of turn it off. Don't think too much. The key here is to do this consistently. If you're focusing on your cats, pets, and dogs and product, you got to do this like multiple times, right? I went ahead and I shared it now. I didn't sit there and TikTok like hurting my eyes on the phone, right? I went ahead and I jumped in into um, literally on the computer. Now, does it mean you shouldn't use the phone? You should definitely use it when you're on the train or whatever, right? But definitely you should be like literally thinking how to do this in a way that maximize your chances of success. The dog video that I posted, it did not do so well. It only got 2 views, right? The threads booster with 2 pack got immediate 71 views, right? So and the sound got turned off. Sound was removed, right? from the video sound was removed. All posts have been sent, right? But whatever the sound that I edit was removed, right? So what can I do? I could go ahead and uh, I could try to, you know, repost that, or I could go ahead and re-add that. I'm gonna go ahead and delete that because the sound got removed. Before, like I'm literally on my phone right now, guys. I'm literally figuring out what I should do in this case right now together with you guys. So I'm probably just, I was thinking about reposting it again and kind of, yeah, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna delete that, and we're gonna delete that. Okay, we're gonna delete it, and we're gonna come back and we're gonna jump in into CapCut. We're gonna once again turn off our brain, right? But we're gonna pay close attention to this sound over here, right? We're gonna pay close attention to the sound. And you know what? Uh yeah, let me think. So let's put audio. Let's put uh romantic piano, right? Let's just kind of put that in. Of course, when you're gonna be doing this on your own, you're gonna listen to the sound, right? And we're gonna just export that, right? We're gonna export that. Okay, so we're exporting. Once again, guys, turning off your brain, right? We're just literally doing this thing super quick, right? You're not really thinking TikTok, right? TikTok, TikTok, dog, 1, 2, 3, right? So whatever comes to your mind, right? So there's audio over here, right? But we're doing this in a video, and I know that there's a definitely sound, right? So it went ahead and it did it. It did it relatively quick, and we're gonna jump in back again into buffer, right? We're gonna do a new post. We're gonna go turn. We're gonna select this, right? TikTok. We're gonna go ahead and select this, and we're gonna come back and we're gonna try to revisit that with a sound. Typically in CapCut, it will tell you if there is a if it's a copyright violation or if it's gonna get if it's not gonna work, right? But for whatever reason, it didn't do it this time. But typically, it would tell you in CapCut itself that, by the way, your sound is gonna get muted when you're gonna post it. Now, this is so how do you combat that? How do you do this in a way where when you upload that and the sound is removed, well, you could either A, include the original sound, right, in the video, right? Or B, use like another tool. There's another tool called My Marquee that I'll show you how to include sounds. But or C, you could do it natively, where you could upload it, right, and then basically download it again, right, on your phone after doing an upload and re-upload it manually from the phone. It will still save you some time, but you'll still have to add the hashtags. So it's kind of pain in the neck with that approach. So let's go ahead and go to buffer, right? We're gonna go ahead and add this thing over here, and we're gonna add again. We're gonna add a tag, entertainment, right? And we're gonna go ahead and turn off our brain and just simply post it, schedule post, share now, right? So once again, we're sharing this now. The only thing is maybe let's edit the thumbnail. Let's put that into over here, right? Because we want to do something different, right? Because most likely TikTok already seen this before, right? The way TikTok determines if something is similar or not, it will look at the first part of the frame and this last part of the frame. If it sees the same, it will not let your video go through. So just kind of remember that. That's how I would design an algorithm. If I had to decide if a video is duplicate or not, I would look at the beginning and I would look at the end. Of course, sometimes I could do like a random in a mix, but typically that's what I would do to save resources. So you're gonna share now, right? I just went ahead and I shared now. I quickly gonna go ahead and check on my phone, right? On my personal phone now to see what happened with that video, just to see what is going on, right? First of all, the two-pack video is okay. First of all, the good news is sound is there, right? Because I put basic music of piano, right? we're gonna see what happens next. Right now, I'm seeing 77 on two-pack video, 77, right? Not so much, not so good. Um, there's three views on a dog, and that's about it. The video for the dog, like one dog video that it did not do so well. It just only got three views. When I was doing this manually, with just opening up my app and posting a dog, I would get 625 views, but it would take me, it would, it would take about, it wouldn't be right away, but you could tell right away it would be maybe 15 minutes later would start going up the views and whatnot, right? So right now, I could already tell you that, okay, well, you know what? The dog is kind of going up. It's got 4 views now, but still not really. It should be by now, it should have been already like 10, 15 views, right? Maybe 20, 30, possibly. But it's still stuck at four. And the two-pack video got stuck at 79, which is good. It actually jumped in, but honestly, it didn't. All of this, guys, when you do things using your APIs, right? uh, your TikTok doesn't like, or any of those platforms, when you use any of those APIs, when you use automated platforms. However, I found a tool that still does perform well and gives you like 700 views anytime you post, if you are doing this across, like, it's a special tool that it uses carousel. There's certain media types that platforms do like, and you have to identify which platforms you could do that, right? With over here, by the way, it says you have 9 days left on your free trial, right? So, and then start subscription now. Initially, this was free on Buffer, right? And then I guess they're pulling the Peekaboo on you, right? So if it's okay, we're gonna find another tool that is gonna be free. Not a problem, guys. You definitely don't want to be paying any money on any of those tools, right? What you want to be doing, you want to be switching between many of those tools, right? And some of them are, if they're smart, they will put their logo and make it possible for you to be their partner. That's what another tool is doing. But if they're not smart, they're gonna go ahead and they will charge you money, right? So of course, this is why you guys gotta use multiple tools, right? Because as you can see, the tool was just, we used the tool, but it got a zero result, right? On We got like really almost no results, right? 79 results on one video, another one zero, right? So whatever the things that you hear other people teaching you, using all those automations that will save time and whatnot, right? All of this, you gotta ask yourself, will it really, or will it just slow you down, right? You gotta ask yourself. Most likely, it's just gonna slow you down in many of the cases, and not really gonna give you any results, because it's against Meta's policies, Facebook policies, to use those automated tools, right? But if you know how to do them right in context of leveraging virtual assistants who will do this manually for you, right? Then you're on top of the game. That's why in Threads Booster, I talk about more than just uh, automations. I talk about delegations, and I talk about how to combine delegations and virtual assistants together, automations and delegations and creativity together, how to navigate across all those different tools, how to bypass all of those fees. So this way, you don't have to pay that money. You just kind of quickly see if it's working out for you. Because guess what? Algorithms change, so are the tools. So if one of the tools is not working, why should you go ahead and be paying money for that tool? No, you got to go ahead and try another tool and use another tool. And that's exactly what you're going to get in Threads Booster. As we constantly cracking codes, you're going to be joining us, and that's one of the reasons why it would make sense for you to pay a monthly subscription for on a FUD, because you get to learn about those things that as we're cracking the code. And of course, if you wanted to implement and put all this entire feudal kingdom in action, and you wanted to build your own feudal kingdom, your own coaching program, wanted to have your own, like, a way to generate money by charging other people to sign up into your community, of course, then you definitely want to join into Feudal Incubator coaching program and Freedom Fusion Path community on Discord. And this is like, literally, there's Discord over here, right? You jump in and you're good to go. We'll jump on a call, we'll do the workshops together, guys, and you will have a greater level of learning effectiveness and be able to implement all of this in action, versus struggling and being like a process prisoner. And of course, at first you're gonna jump in into Slack, then you're gonna on Slack, we're gonna onboard you once you join the Feudal Incubator community for once you join the Feudal Incubator coaching program and Freedom Fusion Path community. And of course, guys, we want you to be on top of the game. And to be on top of the game, you're gonna get access to the Discord as well. It's not opening up. I was just trying to open it now. For whatever reason, it's not opening up. I'll do that. I'll open it later, but it's the community is inside of the Discord. And yeah, guys, this is what you gotta do. Like if you don't do this right, it's gonna be every program is gonna try to extract money out of you. You guys gotta remember. Look, Slack just tried to extract money out of it the other day. It said, "Oh, your subscription is expired." Well, who cares? I'm still inside of Slack, right? That's why you guys gotta know exactly like what is going on, right? So over here, look, there's a meeting that's taking place. uh, all of those automations that are kicking in as well inside of Slack, you're going to learn how to set them up. So this way, you're no longer being a process prisoner and a freedom founder, right? And we're going to be jumping into another tools, right? Like here's a metric pool, right? This is a metric pool that shows all those different page views. It gives you access to 50 different types of posts. So this way you don't have to spend money on that, right? And of course, as you can see, 2 followers. Here's a page growth for LinkedIn. As you can see, my LinkedIn is not really growing because I'm just focusing on threads, right? But if you look at threads, as you can see, we got, holy smokes, 300. Do we have 304 followers? I don't know. We have a lot of followers, guys. Like literally, I had no followers at all until I started doing this, the threads booster, right? So I'm gonna go ahead. I feel like there's more followers now. Let me log in. Uh, Today alone, I think I had like 30 followers, guys. It's just crazy. You're gonna learn some of the strategies I'm gonna be talking about and showing to you. But no, it's actually statistics looks a little bit different over here. In reality, it's 295 followers. So Metric Cool has some issues in showing the true number of followers. There is a delay and whatnot, or it shows like it count double counts or whatever it is. I'm not super sure. But the only thing is what you gotta understand, guys, is there's many different yeah, you need to upgrade it to view older data than 3 months, right? But as you can see, the number of followers, I think it's pretty cool. It kind of went up, right? This is just the number of posts, right? Then followers is just, as you can see, a straight line from going all the way from whatever, from October 8th to November 5th, straight line, just and as you can see, how many posts are being posted, right? Here's 10, 10, 10, 10, right? This is what I want you guys to do. Set up all of those tools to be posting things for you automatically across using variations of different tools, right? And I'll show you which tools and Threads Booster and how to set them up. We'll work together with you to set them up, so this way you're not stuck on your own, right? And of course, if you wanted to get like a to pay for the tool, which is what I highly recommend you do for one of the, at least for one of them, guys, for one of the distribution tools, then definitely you got to do it. Like for my market, you definitely want to pay for that. I mean, that literally that tool produces. Anytime I use that tool, I get like 700 views. It's just absolutely insane, right? And as you can see, it kind of shows, Metricool kind of shows all those different things, like different likes, replies, right, on threads, right? So in summary, so what do we have? We have 363 posts, 6,932 impressions, right? Interactions, engagement, right? So engagement is like, okay, the engagement is good. Interactions, likes, right? So as you can see, likes is, if I could kind of show you the likes, right? Just likes. It shows, okay, well, there's 30 likes, whatever, 1 like, etc. So all of this thing is kind of you could also have your virtual assistants do that. And this way they could do that and you could just come in into the dashboard and see how they're doing, right? And you're going to learn in Threads Booster how to get your virtual assistants to do all of those different things. Here's quotes, right? Quotes are very important. You gotta do the requoting. Um, and if you don't do that, quotes, guys, on threads, that's kind of like shooting yourself in the leg. You should be using quotes. Quotes is a way of to just pick a post, pick a thread that you did, and literally requote it, right? As you can see, if you look at impressions, right? notice how this, and another thing is you got to be revisiting and analyzing what is giving you like the most impressions, right? If you see this, like it says, don't ask permission for helping others, start helping, right? And you see that this is fire, right? Go ahead and reuse that, right? Click on reuse content and recreate this sucker, right? Select post cannot be found, right? Okay, if that cannot be found, that means it probably got removed, right? But you could still like you could still do it. You could still post now, repost, publish now, right? And what to which threads is gonna go to, right? It's gonna go to uh, start helping others, right? Like don't ask for start helping others. The actual thread is removed, right? But literally, you could go ahead and just post that, and it's just a singular post. It really kind of, but what I had before, it was a bunch of members of my feudal army, right? But I'm gonna, if you publish, yeah, we'll eat up 50 of your posts, right? So typically, like in metricool, you only get like a 50 posts, right? So I wouldn't like burn up my metricool for this kind of a very simple post. Instead, I would have a very good multi-threaded post, right? Like this, I would add plus, 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 add another one, right? And I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't waste my post on 50 on just a very simple post. But what you could do, you could easily just go in and come back and just just respond back with that post, right? With that reuse post manually in your content, right? You could literally go in fact, since I'm already logged in into Threads Booster, right? I could go ahead and since I'm logged in into Threads, I could go ahead and I'm just gonna post over here and start start involve. So over here, I could say, don't ask helping for others, start helping others, right? S- Um, for example, include your tribe in the mix of creating your product. For example, for example, when I build my product, I involve my feudal army, my feudal army to build it together, right? And then I would include motivational digigirl, right? Chalk, right? I would include all of those people, right? Or just put skeptic, right? There's another feudal army member, right? Affiliate skeptic. I think that's his name. Maybe, maybe not, right? So I'll have to revisit that. But you could include this, like literally, you could include that, or just if you don't know what to say, just literally remove, just keep it like this. Don't ask for permission of helping others, start helping others. It's kind of a motivational quote, but at least you could do is a gif, right? Just to kind of, I'm happy to help, right? Or like or just like this, right? Boom, just post it. It doesn't matter, right? Just kind of show, like, you know that this performed well, right? So why wouldn't you go ahead and repurpose it? Now the other one is, hey, digital marketing faceless mom, how would you like this one? Got a lot of impressions, right? It got kind of quotes, whatever, right? And guys, one of the reasons it could be getting more impressions is because uh, you have done something specifically to that thread that caused it to do that. So just because if you went ahead and like engage with other people or re reply to it or introduced it as a quote, right? Then of course it's going to get more impressions, right? So notice as the more quotes I do, the greater the impressions, right? Not always, but majority of the cases that is the case, right? So if you click on reuse content again, right? We couldn't find the post on our plan. We couldn't create a new one just with the text. Okay. So here, how would you like to learn how to build your own production company and talent engine? That's yet Thread Booster is a fire guide, right? That could be also a very good thing, but just remember, whatever that you add into your threads, it has to add value. If you just add singular threads, like this account that you're looking at over here, Freedom Fusion System, my strategy there is not to add super simple threads, right? But once in a while, I may mix it up. I may mix it up and include something that is very simple. So, like, the thing is, one account has to be very creative. This account is very creative, right? But that doesn't mean that you shouldn't go ahead and not introduce anything um, that is not simple, right? You should introduce simplicity and mix that in, right? But you want to do this in context of kind of you could just schedule that. Like, you do want to mix it up a simplicity with your very creative side of things, right? But the question is, how can you do that? Well, one of the ways to do that is to just schedule it. But in Freedom Fusion OS, you're gonna be able to like control of that. You're gonna be able to see that balance. You're gonna be able to um, provide that information for your virtual assistants, so this way they could do it for you. And you could do it yourself as well, but you're going to be able to control that balance. So for now, I'm just going to go ahead and schedule this, right? I'm just going to hit schedule. That's it. It's scheduled. I'm good to go. I don't really have to worry about it. So the simple post will be scheduled. And because it's scheduled in the middle on that Friday, as I'm going to be creating posts, it's going to be literally like I'm going to be creating very long threads, and then once in a while, boom, very simple thread is going to come in, right? And it's going to help me maintain that balance. So it's kind of like me doing things ahead of time. And you could pre-create many of those simple threads ahead of time, but introduce that balance in context of very long multi-threaded threads that just introduce all sorts of bells and whistles and whatnot, right? So now let's go ahead and jump into this account over here, and let's take a look at kind of a one more kind of a strategy, right? So we're gonna take a look at home over here. We're gonna kind of scroll, and we could go ahead and execute another one of those strategies for responding people. But the first thing I want to do is I'm gonna I'm gonna hit follow. So watch what I'm doing right now, guys. This is a crazy technique. First of all, I'm gonna follow myself, right? Second of all, I'm gonna follow the same people that I follow on this account, right? I'm gonna go ahead and follow, for example, her, Sammy, right? I'm gonna follow her because guess what? Sammy follows this account. She's gonna see Threads Booster, right? And she's gonna see me here, and she's gonna see Threads Booster from with the wrong Wells name, right? It's gonna be like double level of reinforcement, right? I'm gonna go ahead and hit follow this person, right? I'm gonna follow basically digital faceless digital marketing moms right now, right? And I'm gonna introduce this. This is kind of the routine that I'm showing you over here. Like, this is the same person that is I'm following, right? And this is pretty cool because guess what? Now I'm done. I don't want to overdo it. I don't want to introduce too many followers, just few followers, right? Later, once I increase the number of posts, I could go ahead and introduce additional kind of routine. I could introduce more followers, right? I'm not a negative nor positive. I'm not a battery. Watch how I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna show you guys what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna respond to that. Watch, this is another one of those routines, and this routine will get you followers. Respond with a joke and incorporate Threads Booster, right? Not a battery? Well, at least you're fully charged with spiritual energy. But if you ever need a boost, your side hustle, I just got a thing, Threads Booster. It will keep you digital hustle charged up, ready to go without a low battery warning. Threads Booster. So do you guys like look? It's crazy technique, and I'm using Alt Tab. I hope you guys know what shortcuts I'm using. I'm using Alt Tab. Okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna post that. I'm gonna remove the quote. I don't want people to see that this is ChatGPT, right? And I'm I wanna remove the quote, right? So and then I'm over here I could include like lol, not a battery, right? And a smiley face, right? Then I'm gonna go ahead and to make it a bit more realistic, battery. I'm gonna include something like a battery, right? This will increase chances of the person creating emotional connection with the person, and it does not look like super fake like ChatGPT responding, right? Because I it mixed human factor, and I went ahead and I just hit post. Now, there's a double level of reinforcement, learning reinforcement happening in this person's mind, right? So boss babe Sammy, I interfaced with her today on another account where she was mentioning about how it would be great to have a very like rich husband, so this way, but then she wouldn't want to miss out on sleeping on her king's bed or something like that. She mentioned that, and I went ahead and responded, and I said, "I'm sure you're gonna find somebody, right?" So she like I went ahead and I interfaced with her, and she clearly understands who I am, right? But on top of that, I'm coming back with another account and hitting her with another account, like, "Hey, so silence is more powerful than trying to prove a point. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hit a couple of likes, right? I'm just gonna let's go, let's go, right? And then I'm gonna add an eagle, right? Eagle, right? Let's go, right? I'm just gonna kind of do this, right? Then I'm gonna go ahead and happy hump day, and so I'm constantly vibing with motivational Digi Girl. I love digital marketing. Cool, yeah, it's fire, right? So you definitely want to introduce some fire icon, right? You want to introduce some of those kind of emotional kind of connections, right? But you want to introduce, you want to respond to as many people as possible, right? You want to hit like as many as possible. I've been looking to do. I want to try it out. I'm gonna hit follow, right? Definitely, you won't regret. You won't regret. Try Threads Booster. See my profile for more info, right? And then you could include like boost, for example, right? Want to include you always want to include some native functionality when you respond, right? I'm going to go ahead and interact with the same person several times, right? Which over here I'm going to respond with a question: which side hustle are you looking for, right? I'm going to go ahead and post, right? I'm going to go ahead and follow, right? And then I'm no sales, but hit 700 followers in just 2 weeks. Follow, right? Wow, this is fire. Any tricks for Instagram, right? And by the way, like you always want to be asking tricks. Like you want to be gathering, you want to be creating your library of information, guys. Don't just think you are, you know, all knowing and know all the tricks, right? You could literally get a trick from somebody. As you're doing the vibing, you may discover a trick of doing something on Instagram that you would never known and never tried, and then realize that, oh my god, it works, and all of a sudden you get another insane amount of followers, right? So solopreneur, skeptic affiliate, this is him. That's who I was trying to find your tribe and stick together. I made 16 sales, right? Congratulations, congratulations, right? And then I'm gonna put this, but watch what I'm gonna do. Remember the feudal system framework, right? The uh what is the framework states? You learn, reflect, execute, kill atomic habits as you do so across multiple platforms, right? I made 16 sales on Instagram. We're gonna quickly analyze for Instagram, right? Just to see. Okay, first of all, it's not faceless, but teaching creators, moms, ocean vibes, mama humor, right? We're gonna go ahead and go to Instagram real quick just to see, analyze. Okay, first of all, very clear stories, right? Results, catalyst, like this is MRR course, right? Stand store, really clear, everything clear. You guys see that? Focus, ocean, right? So you like in my particular case, it's dogs and cats, right? I don't have like a high powerful MRR product that I'm selling. I'm focusing on threads booster, right? But I could easily introduce like go ahead after I get a lot of followers, introduce like Catalyst or something, right? I'm not saying that just because you're building your product that you shouldn't resell other products, guys. I want you to resell other products, right? But I want you to start off with your product first. I don't want you to start off with other people's products first, and then you end up like literally getting influenced by other people's products and do nothing but resell the product, and then you in a la la land not really making any traction, right? So that is the reason why I want you to build your own product. That's why I highly recommend Threads Booster. Let's analyze her Rails, right? So notice very clear consistency, very clear level of consistency, right? Lots of kind of ocean, having fun, like lots of ocean stuff, but everything around ocean and waves, right? The same level of consistency, guys. Same level of consistency, mostly faceless, and then like once in a while face, somewhat a semi-faceless content. It's okay, guys, to include face once in a while. Just because you're faceless doesn't necessarily mean you should never include your face. You see me sometimes include a face, my face once in a while. I try to be as faceless as possible. Once and again, once in a while, it's okay, right? Look, 825 followers, 465 website, real views, right? Let's take a look at the real views. So if you're struggling with your confidence, here's the fix. Those types of real views, guys, I could show you how to get the library of all those reels, right? Populate them, put them in Canva, and blast them on Canva automatically across all those Instagram, like all of those reels on Instagram. So this way you don't have, and you just add captions, and you could easily do that in Canva. Right? I could show you that as well in Threads Booster, but just kind of remember you need a library of all of those kind of you could literally just go online, right, and create your library. You could get another guide that includes a library of all the reels and use that as templates. There are some other people selling them, right? And just populate them and include them in. But if you use the same thing as everybody else use, you're not going to get a lot of traction. So I highly recommend you could literally create them, right? With AI, you could recreate them. I use several tools like NVIDIA tool. And of course, NVIDIA has a lot of stuff that's also being reused by many other people, right? But you could use other models to kind of recreate the environment. And uh, that's basically, you also use templates. But the idea is, guys, that's not even a big thing, right? The main thing is consistency. Notice how she maintains consistency, right? Notice like notice how she doesn't even have a lot of reels, right? She doesn't have a lot of them, right? She just have okay, she has some, right? And she's already making sales. Why? Let's analyze what is she showing. Wins. Here's the results, right? Here's the story. Results. MRR course. Some sort of a mom related activity, humor, right? So if I click on mom humor and analyze her Instagram story, right? What do we have? If I felt like someone may need to see this today. When my Pilates instructor reminds me trauma can be released from the hip, right? So jokes, right? Introducing jokes. Check out some of the physical products I made. Want to learn how to make your own physical product? Just made another sale. Thank you, girl. Right? That's another one of those interesting things. You could create physical products, guys. But remember, focus on digital. Your focus is digital, right? But of course, you could do things like create T-shirts on Canva and do print on demand, right? And you can most certainly do that. Over here, looks like she's combining physical products. And I do have a feudal lord in case if you guys are interested and you wanted to create a really create your own international physical product. I have somebody who you could talk to, by the way. Like literally the guy sold like 200 million water bottles and I could connect you with him. He could literally set you guys up if you guys are interested in building your own physical product. but she is combining those physical products. Keep something in mind. When Threads Booster, you learn how to uh, monetize your commute and with pets, cats, and dogs, right? And of course, the physical product that you get to resell will be pet related, right? So you kind of have to understand that. And yeah, but overall, her notice how she's introducing physical products and then kind of a humor, and inside of humor, she introduces a digital product, right? So humor relates to humor interconnects inside of her stories, kind of several things, right? Well, okay, so how should I say that? She first introduces the results, then she introduces Catalyst, right? The MRR product, right? So we're kind of analyzing what exactly is going on inside of the story. So story, so how does it look? Results, right? So no, make it a note, guys. Results, right? You could easily go ahead and update the results. Like for example, once you start using Threads Booster, trust me, you guys are gonna get a lot of results. You're gonna get insane results. You're gonna see all those things that I showed on a metric cool, right? All those followers going up, right? You're gonna constantly be showing your wins. Okay. Then you're gonna show like some high ticket MRR products, right? For you guys, because you don't have any products to show, right? Specifically, you just starting out, you want to build your own product, you don't really have ones. For you, I would highly recommend just put your own product over here, right? And your low ticket offer. It could be like a bunch of Instagram reel templates. It could be that kind of a digital product. It could be um, fun routines for digital moms, right? It could be that product. It could be any kind of digital product, but you need to put. I would not recommend starting off with a high ticket offer product because people don't know you. They don't understand why they should buy this stuff from you. So over here, she's saying when you're just honestly excited about your business, right? Let's analyze that. And how many lives you can change and people you can inspire and help grow, right? Notice she's using her face, right? But she's introducing freedom 9 to 5 job, right? Tired of feeling trapped in a 9 to 5 job, dreaming of a file filled with travel freedom, right? And you guys probably see me in my Tres Booster, how I go to Florida, how I show all those different things, the crocodiles, all that other stuff, right? And I haven't even done any of that, like on my Instagram. And that's why I wanted to create the Threads Booster, guys, to show you how to do this across platforms while doing this on Instagram, while doing this on Threads, right? With Threads being as the main focus. And as I'm doing this, I'm explaining this exact while I'm evaluating, analyzing other people. Then we just start building things together, and literally you get to see how I'm doing this and kind of get to be behind my back, behind my shoulder, right? Side by side, or however you want to say it, but you get to see, you get to foreshadow me as I'm doing that, as whatever is floating through my mind as I'm analyzing this. I'm thinking, okay, 9 to 5, I gotta include this, right? In my particular case, I'm a side hustler. I don't want to kind of say tired of 9 to 5. I want to say opposite. I want to say I love my 9 to 5, but I also don't mind making some extra income, right? And here's a way to do that while monetizing it on a train. Do you guys see like how I'm literally introducing a uniqueness? Like I'm literally targeting people who are on the train, right? I'm literally targeting people who are digital faceless marketing moms. I'm literally targeting the ones that that have some pets, cats, and dogs. Do you see how micro niching I'm in? I'm going super micro niche, right? So if you guys are, you don't have to go that level of micro niching. You could just be kind of picking something like relevant over here, like ocean or something. Show a bunch of reels about ocean, right? Show maybe a couple of videos of you, kind of swimming around, whatever, right? And showing how you're having fun, show some pets, cats, and dogs, but introduce this kind of in context of you, right? But of course, I'm going to be showing you some faceless techniques for how to literally kind of not show your face and show other ways, right? But let's as I'm analyzing Catalyst, right? I'm seeing this. Just picture this: ocean waking up to waves instead of alarm clocks, building a business you love or you schedule, right? It this promises all of this promises like a lot of crazy things, right? Will guide you step by step to that. But guess what? I don't even have any of that. It looks absolutely stunning and beautiful. And I literally don't have that, guys. Like literally, I'm learning this together with you. I know, like, oh my God, I gotta be. Like if you guys want to help me and like literally create those reels, right? In Canva and get engaged, right? And like prove it to yourself that you could do that, then you most certainly can do that. And we could do this on a workshop. And you get to learn how to do this. And at the same time, if I make some money, you get some feudal share from that if you guys want to help out. And of course, you could also resell my Threads Booster guide and Freedom Fusion OS and Freedom Fusion system and whatnot, right? But look how simple this thing is it literally tells you the only program that will give you the courage and know how to ditch your corporate job and build a business that lets you travel the world. So we're gonna modify that and we're going to say the only program that will give you the courage and the know how to not ditch your corporate job, still keep it while having fun on a train monetizing your side hustle, right? While traveling the world, right? That's what we're gonna modify it. So guys, start thinking how you would go if you guys want to jump into the next workshop together with me live, right? And start like coming up with a bunch of reels, right? Start figuring out what kind of things to add, what kind of graphics to add, right? What kind of bank, real bank to include, right? The, uh, then yeah, it's going to be great if you do that. You join us on collectively, and we build together, right? But like, I'm surprised that I myself don't even have that. I need to jump into now into Canva and start pumping that stuff out. But I don't want to do this by myself, guys. I want to get you involved, right? I want to get you to literally and look what she says over here. My account has almost doubled in only 2 days, right? So in 2 days, right? And guys, there's certain tricks that I'll show you. You probably have noticed how my threads booster started going up like crazy. Like I literally come back to you and say, oh, today I got 20, 30, right? But for 8 months straight, I only had like 10 followers on threads. And on X, I only had one follower, right? And out of a sudden, you see all those followers growing, right? What is going on, right? There's certain things that you guys don't know about. And people are gatekeeping this from you. And you're going to learn more about in Threads Booster because I'm just running out of time, but it's not that hard. It's relatively simple. But if you miss this step, it's going to be very hard, guys, to figure it out anything. Um, like you could be missing one little thing, guys, and nobody's telling you anything about it. So they left to save $100 on a first accelerator. Notice, first of all, the concept of urgency. She's introducing the concept of urgency. Now, of course, she's showing her face, like in her body, right? You as a faceless person, you don't want to be showing that. You just want to show like there's other ways that I'm going to be showing you in Threads Booster for how to not introduce your face but still be trustworthy looking, right? It's the first done with your business hub for entrepreneurs. So let's see what we hear. So why do you not want to miss out on Catalyst? It's the first done with your business hub for entrepreneurs, business owners, realtors, digital marketer creators, and influencers, and more. It comes with coaching, on-demand course vault, guest lectures, bootcamps, accelerators, and more, right? So, of course, it has all of this, right? But so does Threads Booster, including realtors, by the way. I'm a real estate investor, by the way, guys. I do real estate investing across multiple countries. And, of course, business owners as well, right? I cover all of this in Threads Booster, guys. But somehow I failed to literally illustrate that anywhere that I do any of this in a way that is easy to understand. And that's why the reason why I'm not making any sales. And most probably the reason why you also not making any sales, um, well, for you, it's probably because you don't know what to include over here, right? And that's what you're going to learn in Threads Booster, right? But later on, you really need to go ahead and like double up your game, guys, and join me together with other digital faceless marketing moms as we analyze all of those different reasons, right? This stuff in Canva, I do show in Threads Booster. Like I do have a fire pill where I literally create like Canva and show to you how to do that on Canva. It's not a big deal, guys. It's just the problem is you don't really know how to create those very attractive stories, right? 6 days left, right? Whatever, whatever. You could literally, after go through Threads Booster, you could go ahead and like show the same testimonials, right? Because you will be able to get those testimonials, guys. You will be able to grow on Threads fast once you get that Threads Booster. Once you start learning all those different strategies, then you're going to be able to show all of those different things. And notice 5 days left to save, right? So That's the concept of urgency. Many of those different pieces that I'm seeing over here, uh, you know, urgency, mom humor, right? And me specializing in digital faceless marketing moms, I completely missed that. I don't have any humor, guys. Like literally, I'm just showing motivation, dogs, cute dogs, and like cats and whatnot, right? But where's the humor? I don't have any humor, guys. Like literally, this today, I'm literally going to include a routine over here in Threads Booster. Um, I'm going to include humor over here, the routine for my virtual assistant to start. I don't. I'm just gonna for now before I forget, guys. I'm gonna include a routine humor, digital mom humor, right? Later we're gonna construct like a pill out of this, and I'll show you guys how to construct pills. So that's kind of okay. That's just oh my god, I learned just from just one analysis of somebody who won, insane amount of information, guys. And this is something. So right now, what is on our plate of things to do? If any of you guys watch this workshop, first of all, we gotta find some funny things. Now, of course, funny things could be, but what can we actually do on Instagram to grow? There's certain things we could hit likes and we could hit save posts and engage with other people's things and other posts and quickly, super quickly grow and just hit bunch of follows across, kind of like what I showed earlier, right? And it will get you there. If you guys want to see me how I do that together with you on Instagram and showing you how to do this on a phone, whatever, right? In combination of a hybrid way in a phone and a computer, then definitely join my workshop. Don't sleep on this workshop because you get to learn a lot of information and you get to see how me, Ron Wells, trying to crack the code together with you while like creating all of those different conjectures, hypotheses, and using all those different variations of tools. So this way we're not process prisoner. Another thing is notice how she includes uh, I had to do it when you're endlessly scrolling your life away to the toilet instead of learning high income skills, right? So that was funny. I kind of like that, right? That I honestly, I'm like, yeah, that is funny, right? But you need to, and if that created an emotion, right? I could go ahead. You could also do it as well, right? And you could just guys just understand how much stuff we both learned together just by looking at this thing, right? Just by looking at one account that won, that's winning. Me rushing to the front of the door to grab my Amazon packages before my husband sees them. That is funny. That is funny, right? Here's your Monday laugh, right? What's that? This is so cute, right? Adorable, right? Guys, like if you're not introducing this, I don't know what else to tell you guys. If you're not introducing humor, like literally, I didn't even have humor in a mix of my Threads booster thing, in a mix of in Freedom Fusion OS, where I systemized the Threads booster. I didn't even have humor. That just tells me about how behind I am in the world of digital faceless marketing game. And this is not even fully digital faceless marketing. This is just I wonder how the humor is going to look like in a world of digital faceless marketing. This is more like a semi-digital faceless marketing. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoying this, right? And okay, working mom, cold coffee, two missed meetings, five half finished to do, um, three school drop-offs in pajamas, bonus constant guilt about everything, right? That that could be funny, but I can't fully relate because I'm not a mom. Sorry, guys, but I'm trying to be like I'm trying to enter your mindset, right? But you guys got to understand that I'm using the concept of polarized opposite, right? I'm kind of like opposite for you, and maybe you guys are attracted because of that. I'm creating that polarization effect. Maybe you're attracted to my style of teaching because I'm kind of opposite of you. You guys got to understand that. For you, that doesn't mean you go ahead and kind of target the digital faceless dads, right? But you can because guess what? It could maximize your game, right? It's just for whatever reason I saw more of females in digital faceless game versus dads, but it's a very good idea. I noticed the polarization effect definitely works. In your case, I could do both. If I was you, I would do both. Digital faceless dads and digital faceless moms. I'm focusing only on digital faceless moms, right? Um, but the idea here is you guys gotta extract all the information that I'm showing you, right? Who needs a smile? This meant the literal definition of the word vibing. Okay. Well, when I see the room that I just cleaned 30 minutes ago, okay, that is funny, right? Okay, so we got the idea. We know we need to inject some humor in the mix. Now, notice that how she introduces physical products. Now, many of you will say, well, I don't have physical products. Guys, there should not be an excuse why you shouldn't have a physical product. In Threads Booster, you're going to get introduced how to get connected with brands, and you're going to use your digital faceless marketing skill to go ahead and reach out to those brands, get connected with them. You're going to create your very own portfolio that shows all of your super duper skills of CapCut editing, video editing, and how you present the products, right? And then I'm gonna show you exactly which UGC toolkits to get. So this way you could um, have a greater chance of being connected with brands and getting that feudal share on a monthly basis. So this way you could make some money serving some feudal lords, the brand owners, and yeah, make some money. Why not? I mean, you're learning the skill of digital faceless marketing. It's a very congruent skill in terms of being able to carry that skill over further. Why not? Why the heck not? Right? Why wouldn't you want to get connected with brands and physical brands who do want something sold? It could be like a tripod, it could be something that you would be doing anyway, right? Maybe there's this in this case, it's Kindle Notebook. This is something that was created by her, right? I love this journal, right? This candle is becoming popular, right? You could include some candle, right? Whatever is a popular candle smell, right? You could include that. But the truth is, guys, you have to pick a product that is trending. That's another thing you're gonna learn in Threads Booster, how to pick something that is trending, not something that you're gonna get stuck with, right? You're gonna learn how to do that as well in Threads Booster and how to get connected with brands with Threads Booster as well. But the most important part here is she's combining humor, she's combining catalyst, she's combining physical and digital product, and she's combining a little bit of her face. Not too much. She kind of has both, right? But also has her face, right? So, and here's some Spark. And yeah, and this analysis was pretty good. Now, Spark, I gotta see what the Spark is, but it's pretty cool. I like it. I like everything what I just saw, and I'm hoping that you're using multiple desktop as well, right? I'm hoping that you guys are able to navigate across all those desktops and have different kind of tools running on each one of them and navigating through all those tools and not getting stuck like a process prisoner. I'm hoping that you're going to start using those tools, right? I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to follow her. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna follow a couple of times, right? Like this, right? And like this. And I'm gonna say congratulations on I made 16 sales on Instagram. Love this app, right? Guys, so let's just kind of manifest you in context of her, okay? She has 138 followers, right? I'm gonna do one more thing. I'm gonna go to Instagram. I'm gonna see how many followers she has. 914 followers, okay? This is like she's using this ocean vibes and mama humor, right? Like teaching creators and moms to monetize, right? On Instagram. So, first of all, number one, what you got to understand is that she has posts as well, right? Number two, not only does she have posts, she has reels, right? Number three, she's reinforcing everything with the stories. But those, like, notice you see 14 views, the day everything changed for me, don't waste your money on this, right? But guess what, guys? Look, those things over here. So, couple of things for you guys as the homework. Figured out how to get that bank of images. Come back to me next time and tell me what you found. Where to find the bank of stock photos for that you could just use in a background, and come back to me. Right, that's your homework. Number next thing is you're going to be following people left and right, and you're going to be creating. You're going to create a fire profile looking like this. Instead of stand store, you're going to use Freedom Fusion system. I could hook you guys up so this way you have your own stand store. You have your own Freedom Fusion system. combined with email nurturing campaigns, AI chatbots, book appointment system, all of those different business automations. So this way you could have things going to your Discord channel, to the Slack channel. You could be emailing those people and maximizing your chances even more of your products being sold. And I'll be showing you some AI content driven automations for how to nurture people as well, right? Notice how she created a very good niche in terms of using in terms of kind of a mama humor ocean vibes. You could introduce mama humor and pet pets, for example, or you may say, you know what, nah, pets is too narrow, I want to do ocean, or I want to do sky, right? You could do sky, mama humor in sky, right? Of course you can't really show yourself flying in the sky, but who knows, maybe you can now with AI, right? So you have to kind of pick something that is something down to earth. And ocean is down to earth. Pets are down to earth. Travel is down to earth in any of those different places. So kind of figure out exactly what you want to include, like who you are, how much like are you spending time on, do you travel at all, right? If you are and have a bunch of things on traveling, definitely include that, right? And notice this thing, she doesn't have a lot of like crazy videos that I have that are super like insane, right? And she just has very simplistic things and like a beautiful course like Catalyst. I'm not saying don't get Catalyst. You could get Catalyst and do the same exact thing, right? You go, but I highly recommend you start building your own product. Then it's going to be more fun. Then you're going to be more inclined in cracking code. Otherwise, you're not going to be cracking codes. You're just going to be wasting time reading Catalyst. That's basically what's going to happen with you guys if you don't like literally do things yourself, build your own digital product, right? And of course, if you want to get Catalyst or any other MRR course, you can, but it will set you backwards. Instead, you want to create a very low ticket product in the beginning, very low ticket, like $3, $1 low ticket offer product, and start showing people how you resell that, right? And start showing your wins, how you're getting views, followers, and whatnot, and how you're about to resell that. And you want to make it resellable for other people to be able to resell it for you, but show how you're selling it. And it could be like a Reels library or activities or polls activity. Imagine if you combine polls in here in the mix and many of those strategies that I talk about on Threads Booster, like how you create a motivational giveaways and polls, right? If we look at her profile, she is very good in terms of keeping it very simple, right? I only have 2 days. I have grown my account by 303 new followers. Notice how she introduces face. Notice how she's using very good Canvas skills, right? You're going to learn that in Threads Booster, how to do that as well, right? And notice how she's also a creator and she's doing giveaways. Remember how I told you about the giveaways, guys? Hello, lovely people. After seeing the result in this post and my stories, I decided to give away. Once I reach 1,000 followers, which is getting close to, I will be giving away one of those. Make sure you follow me if you're interested in winning this in near future. Details to follow soon, right? So now, how is she getting this stuff? Well, she's probably doing reviews on TikTok Shop, and many of those brands will just send this thing for free, right? Or she literally just give away, right? Whatever the case is, you don't have to do a giveaway, physical giveaway, guys. You could do literally like a giveaway of creating a personalized video for any digital faceless mom, kind of like what I did for a giveaway, right? Notice how she's using all of the strategies of Catalyst. Okay, so let's talk DWA, right? For people that have both, are you keeping both in your stores? My personal opinion is that it's still good to keep DWA in my store because it's so beginner friendly. If someone was to start with Catalyst as a complete beginner, it may be too challenging. Don't get me wrong, I'm absolutely obsessed with Catalyst. It's my favorite, but I'm just trying to think of my audience and different levels that it may be at. What does everyone think, right? So, like, first of all, you guys gotta understand that while looking at her profile, she doesn't have a lot of followers. She only has 138 followers, right? Her profile is extremely clean. Remember, guys, I told you about Threads Booster, the other profile that I created that is extremely clean and where I have 15 followers, right? Do you guys see? Do you understand the patterns now? No? Do you understand the pattern? I hope you guys understand the patterns. Please tell me you understand the patterns, guys. But do you understand the reason why I have this other account where I'm like being complete lunatic, like literally creating those very, very twisted kind of threads that just getting people hooked and then just like they're like all kind of hypnotized, right? How? How am I doing that, guys? I'm doing this for the and why? You're gonna learn that in Threads Booster. Of course, you guys already know why. The reason why is you want to get those followers, you want to get them hooked, right? But what if you ended up creating like entire a library of all the videos and you went the wrong path for like 8 months? Okay, not the wrong path, but let's say in an order, in a path that you should have like in slightly different order, right? And you have a lot of stuff, you have entire library, and you just be like, oh damn, I went the wrong way, or like I have too much content. How do I fix that mistake? How do I reincarnate my past into the future and fix my mistakes and get more followers and double down on the mistakes and make them into strength? How do you do that? This is what you see me do right now. That's why you see me like instant boost happening in Threads Booster. You see me reincarnating my kind of posts from the past, and it looks a bit kind of off because it's some of them are older posts, right? But it gives you this incredible understanding about who I am as a person, and it gives you like literally like you are just glued to that, right? Especially with those effects. And no, look, Audrey, she's very good. Like she made things simple, right? So she made it simple. She gave you guys hope with the Instagram. She gave you the path, right? Now, if you guys want your own Freedom Fusion path, your coaching program like this, and you want to join the Feudal Incubator and jump in into that Freedom Fusion path and get workshops like this, so this way you could join, interact, and ask questions and do all this stuff versus just looking at the video, then yeah, then go ahead and join my Feudal Incubator's custom coaching program. At least if you don't have money for the coaching program, go ahead and join, get yourself a Threads Booster guide, right? At least. And if you have some money on a monthly basis, I do have subscription for Digital Faceless Marketing Moms, where you jump in and you only pay $14.99 per month, and you could jump in and just talk to me, ask questions when I do those workshops live on FUD. Not those ones. This is different. This is I do those the ones that I'm describing here in Zoom. This is part of the coaching program, right? So, what do you guys think? Do you guys want to but on FUD, you could still ask me questions. You could jump in and you could get access to many of the premium workshops. You could get access to many of the guides. And you're going to get like literally priority support versus free members who are not subscribers. So it's a lot easier for you if you don't have money for Feudal Incubator to join my to join just on FUD, right? But if you do join Feudal Incubator, not only do you get access to Freedom Fusion system, but you get access to Freedom Fusion OS to get all those routines that I was talking about and showing you from Freedom Fusion OS based on Threads Booster, what I was describing over here. And we're constantly adding them. But you're also going to get, you're definitely going to get access to the pills of Freedom, and you're going to get access to Freedom Fusion, like Freedom Fusion system itself. So now that you guys fully understand how to put everything in action, I'm hoping that this was informative. I'm hoping that this is analysis of, I'm gonna construct a pill out of this, right? I'm gonna show you one more thing, how to do something very good, okay? Uh, if you wanted to build your own feudal kingdom or your own digital faceless product, right? What you want to do, you want to introduce special pills, right? And the way it works is you take that username, right? And you're gonna go ahead and you go into Notion, right? You're gonna log in into Notion and you're gonna construct a pill of freedom. That pill you're gonna be referencing later to make sure that you are being honest about your journey, right? I'm gonna go ahead and show it to you. And you're gonna show that to other people as well, that pills of freedom, when you build your own feudal kingdom, right? I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna open that. IG analysis of digital digital faceless, digital semi-faceless marketing model, right? Okay. I'm gonna make that as a free pill for you guys. But typically this would be a premium content. This was really easy. We covered metrical, we covered buffer. I briefly showed you Freedom Fusion system, but and Freedom Fusion OS. Let's do URL, inspirational URL. There we go. And inside over here, there's going to be a URL of a Zoom that I'm going to, once I hit stop, it's going to be basically, that's where I'm going to pop that in. This is an example of pill of freedom. And it already dropped into a Slack channel. Similarly, you're going to be, once inside of Discord, you're going to see this kind of the same exact thing. So this is a pill for giveaway, right? Let's see. It's strange it didn't drop yet. Maybe it takes a little bit to wait. I know Slack just it used to be free, then it said it's not free, and that happened like 2 days ago. So who knows? Maybe they yanked the automations. I have to check. It could be that they yanked the automations. When they get rid of the automation, you can't automate anymore into Slack. It's possible that they did that. I hope that they didn't do that. If that's the case, I may need to see if I could just renew the automation. But there's an automation that takes place from Zapier into Slack. So if I go to Zapier, okay. Okay. New message posted on Slack. This thing is missing. It says Slack legacy. So we're gonna quickly, okay, so I think we're gonna try to continue with the selector. New message posted on channel, create a meeting, Slack. No, that's not what I wanna do. Let's go ahead and check Notion automation. So we're gonna quickly troubleshoot this automation, guys. This is not the thing you're gonna learn on Threads Booster, how to set the basic automations, how to do this, but it's more covered in Feudal Incubator. But this one, it makes it easier for you to, and you're gonna get access as part of the Feudal Incubator to all of those automations as well, so you don't have to worry about the business side too much. So this way you could focus on digital faceless marketing instead. Notion, notify, assign. Actually, you know what? Um, it may be, I'm gonna create a test one, test, right? I'm gonna create a test. It may actually be not in Zapier. It's native based automation directly from Notion into Slack. Okay, guys, so I think this is working now. I had to check the automation on Notion. There's this automation over here. You create new automation. And as you can see, this is automation. When a request comes in, it gets dropped automatically into Freedom Fusion digital channel. So it wasn't working. I had to fix it. So it's working now. So anyway, once you join Feudal Incubator, guys, you're gonna have those pills popping in automatically into the Slack channel, right? Yeah, I mean into Discord community. So Slack channel, you're gonna also join. I'm gonna send you an invite once you join the Feudal Incubator. But the idea here is like literally when you go to freedomfusionsystem.com, like if you go to freedomfusionsystem.com, Threads Booster, right? You're gonna see more about Threads Booster. This is the information about it. So as you can see, guys, if you're interested in any of this, for now, let's get on a call, right? You could register, like if you like what you see over here, if you're interested in any of them, if you wanted to get Threads Booster, you could just DM Path on my Insta, right? For any of those three options over here, just DM either if you want a free guide or if you want a Threads Booster or you want Flood subscription. The free guide covers like a lot of hybrid skills that are not taught in college. But if you want any of them, just DM Path on my Insta. If you wanted to get Feudal Incubator and get access to all of those pills of freedom that I was showing you, right? All those different pills of freedom, right? There's a lot of them. And of course, get access to Discord and workshops and be able to and get access to threads, to Freedom Fusion OS. And of course, get access to Threads Booster as well and be able to interact and do all this, whatever that I'm building over here in the context of workshops, right? And get access to your very own Freedom Fusion system, right? Then definitely let me know. There's if you want Freedom Fusion system, there's going to be additional fee than what I showed over here on that page over here. But the idea here, guys, is very simple. If you want the guide, right, start off with that guide, Threads Booster. So if I go to Threads Booster, start off with this guide, you could watch this to learn a little bit more about it, right? And you just hit play button, you watch this video, right? Then if you want to just DM the word path on my Insta. To get to my Insta, you just go to my Threads account, and you could either go to Threads account or you could go to buyer.link Freedom Fusion system, right? And this is where you see um, more information over here on threads, right? So this is literally where you can go to Insta, right? Directly, you could go directly to Instagram, right? And just DM the word path on my Insta from there, right? So you could literally go to Insta. This is not Insta. I clicked the wrong link. We go here, right? This is Insta, right? You go here and you could DM message from here. You DM the word path, right? So as you can see, this diagram over here, my reels and everything is not properly set up the way it's supposed to be set up, right? The way it's supposed to be for digital faceless marketing. It's set up based on AI content-driven automations, right? And it's set up based on kind of a combination of, it's basically a Freedom Fusion system. So obviously it's going to be different for me than for you, right? But that doesn't mean that my other Instagram account, uh, like in this case, I'm just sending it. We're gonna take that account, even though it's automations, we're gonna mix it up in a way that is gonna be digital faceless marketing mom, and it's gonna include all those other details. Now, my Threads booster is associated with it's a different account and Instagrams. But over here, all you got to do is just DM the word path, right? And then you'll get access to Threads Booster. The bot is going to respond to you and whatnot, and you're going to be able to get that. We're going to be able to get that going, right? So Threads Booster, and if you're interested in monthly coaching program, right, for $295, right? This is includes Pills of Freedom, learn hybrid skills in depth, custom coaching program for digital moms, right? Gain access to workshop. Then, of course, just take a look at just go to my freedomfusionsystem.com page, right? And literally just book a call. Book a call, scroll to the bottom over here, book a call and say, hey, Rome, I wanna do that coaching program, right? So this way you could have greater chance of success exponentially versus anything else. And of course, if you're interested in getting Freedom Fusion System, have your own chatbot, AI chatbot, all this other stuff, right? And this is an example of chatbot, right? The chatbot is part of Instagram and it's part of web page itself. As you can see, here's a chatbot, right? You can literally interface with it and ask questions, right? And it's AI chatbot, and of course you'll have all that as part of the Freedom Fusion system. And there's single interface where you could communicate with all the people from different Instagram chatbot, is like a different places, Facebook, Instagram, etc. There's different programs that you could offer to businesses if you're going to be doing digital marketing and bundling some of the products like advertising on multiple, like 70 different search engines at once, and making a markup money on that as an additional way for your virtual assistants to generate some income for you. Plus, your virtual assistants can be doing all of those automations, and you get access to all of those automation blueprints that took me 2,000 hours, thousands of hours to create, and you're gonna get them all, like appointment workflow, book appointment system, chatbots, all sorts of automations, nurturing campaigns, right? So this way, you could do all of those email automations, and there's a lot of email automations over here, and of course that is something that we're going to talk about as well in Feudal Incubator for how to set it up. So this way, everything that comes into you to your account, right, on Instagram, is going to get funneled into the chatbot is going to be talking to everybody, to all of your customers, and then you're going to be leveraging emails, email nurturing campaigns to nurture them. There's all sorts of bells and whistles. This is needed in order for you to maximize chances of success in getting leads to become customers, right? If you don't do that, if you don't personalize content, don't personalize email, don't have AI chatbots, you're going to be spending a lot of time interfacing, wasting time, right? Instead, you get this Freedom Fusion system. You get three sub accounts, one by default and two by request, and this way you could respond to all of those people, and whoever respond to you in one single place. You have different types of QR codes countdown timers, funnel pages that you could create as well, specifically for your store. So this way, everything is one really good looking uh, professional site, mobile friendly. QR codes over here. Here's an example of QR codes, quizzes to build quizzes for giveaways, motivational giveaway. Here's some quizzes over here. So this way, people have a reason to be, following you. You could create those giveaways. You're going to learn in Threads Booster how to create those giveaways. I do have a fire pill for you as well for that in Notion. But the more you pop those pills, the easier it's going to be, right? So this is, you learn more about Threads Booster, right? Uh, there's many different pills, guys. And of course, as you navigate through all those fields, you're going to discover some AI chatbot agents that could be like flying around like eagles and literally getting leads for you on Reddit, across all those other socials, right? You're going to learn all those different things. And of course, it's in your interest to get access to all of those pills of freedom. Anyway, guys, I'm going to get going. Hopefully, this was informative. Hopefully, you will start taking action, and just keep something in mind, recordings as well. That's another thing. Like once you get join Feudal Incubator, you're going to learn how to get all of those things set up, right? And you're going to learn which systems to include, to have, what tools to have, right? And we're going to set up Notion for you to get you going, to make sure that you can document all those things, all those pills, be able to construct those pills. So this way you could build your own digital faceless marketing product, right? You're going to be able to get all of those automations. So this way, when you go live on Zoom calls with any of the people that you're coaching, or any of the like customers that you're providing digital marketing for, the brands, right? All of this information gets recorded automatically and gets dropped into Notion with a summary from like Fathom over here, where you could kind of just go in and see what the summary is. So as soon as you finish with communicating with people on Zoom, it gets dropped automatically into Notion. And anytime you construct a pill, that goes into your Discord, that goes into Slack, right? Here's an example of the pill, right? Here's like, you can kind of see everything over here already dropped into Fathom, right? There's a transcript over here, all those different automations you're gonna get. You're gonna get Freedom Fusion OS, uh, especially as we develop those routines and package them over here for what is working, what is not. As we continuously analyze other digital faceless marketing moms, you're gonna be able to get access to that Freedom Fusion OS. So this way you could your virtual assistants could be just literally executing those routines. You're going to learn how to get the opportunity to get your virtual assistants to do the work for you. You're going to be able to learn how to create your own affiliate program so that other people can go ahead and resell your guides and your digital product. And of course, you're going to learn how to resell physical products on TikTok Shop, and how to get connected with brands. All that, definitely you're going to have greater chance of success if you join Feudal Incubator program, because Threads Booster, you're gonna see how it's done manually, right? You're gonna see on a phone how I'm doing this, right? But of course, to put that in action, to put this in a way where you don't have to struggle about the business part aspects of it, and it's just in your interest to join the Feudal Incubator, right? Because you're just gonna get so much more. Plus, right now I'm just showing you like Freedom Fusion OS, and this Freedom Fusion OS covers Threads Booster Monday, Tuesday, different types of days, right? It covers different types of softwares that you could use. But the thing is, it's also going to have, we're going to create some views, interfaces, so this way you could see how effective your virtual assistants are. And we're going to be introducing that and adding that and growing that. And of course, as we crack the code, we're going to be packaging that in. And of course, it's going to be in your interest to be on a monthly subscriber into the Feudal Incubator, because you don't have to pay for the stand store. You don't have to spend money on beacons. You don't have to pay for expensive MRR course. Uh, all of those pieces are covered for you, right? And you just focus on digital marketing, right? You're going to get access to whatever systems. This way, you don't have to have headaches about any of those automations, any of those different things. In fact, the only thing you're going to learn is how to get those virtual assistants to work for you, and you will go ahead and find them. You're going to learn how to do that in Threads Booster, and they could be literally utilizing your system, and you could be growing and getting them to find other customers to do digital marketing for, and AI content driven automations if you wanted to include that as your pocket, as your services. But the bottom line is they're gonna have a reason, virtual assistants, to be doing that work if you have something like Freedom Fusion system. Otherwise, they don't have their own SaaS product to be. They don't have automations. They don't have anything. Yeah, and of course, to get people who your virtual assistants would be willing to provide services for, you have to know a little bit of how to target those companies, like let's say plumbers or real estate investors or any other kind of businesses, right? The feudal lords. In order to reach out to the feudal lords and like, are you going to learn in Threads Booster how to provide the pockets of opportunity for other people to to go ahead and do the products for you, do the automations for you, and do all the stuff for you while you get to be like a orchestrator, orchestrating everything. So I hope that makes sense, guys. Of course, if for whatever reason you can't have anybody do things for you, you don't really want to exchange all your energy, and you want to just pay money, you could get connected to some of our side hustlers who have developed hybrid skills that are not taught in college that could most certainly help you as well, right? But of course, it's going to be there's going to be fee involved, money involved, right? So of course, it's in your interest to learn how to do this in a way without money, right? But if you don't have time for that, and you don't have time or an opportunity, if you don't have energy to provide to your virtual assistants, who you're going to be guiding and giving them an opportunity to like build their own agency, talent agency, or their own AI automation agency, because that would be one of the reasons why they want to be helping you. If you give them the opportunity to build their own automation, to learn how to do automations, to learn how to serve the feudal lords, if you give them that piece of feudal land as part of your feudal kingdom to flourish, then they will have that reason. If you don't give it to them, uh, because you don't have the right tools, because you chose to only pick stand store or beacon store, right? Then of course you're going to be struggling doing this yourself. And if in order not to do this yourself, you have to pay money. To pay money to others is going to be, you're not going to get the same result as versus people who you exchanged the energy for and provided the reasoning for them to do what, to build their own agency, to build their own kind of a agency where they could provide services for the feudal lords, right? That's basically how I did it. And my virtual assistants, they don't work like they don't. I mean, they don't pay. I don't pay them money. They work, but they don't. I don't pay them money, right? I instead I give them opportunity to gain that experience and learn how to do automations and not charge them money for the feudal incubator. That otherwise I would be charging money for the feudal incubator, and they would, and plus they don't have access to and opportunities of having access to such tools. They would have to pay in countries overseas a lot of money for those tools. They don't have that money. They'd rather get under somebody's wing and have that somebody help them versus kind of doing it any other way, right? So I hope that makes sense, guys. And I'll see you next time. Definitely go ahead and subscribe to me on FUD, DM Path on my Insta, and I'll see you next time. Take care. Bye.